and this ought to be a good one, between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
That's it. That 180. Check 55, Mike. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Newton. And that will be incomplete.
That's it, baby.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 1st and 10, Rutherford. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Cole Beasley, his 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. First carry for James Conner. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. They'll try and run forward with Conner. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Milano came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Back to throw. Rutherford, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
On 2nd down, it's Conner. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, it's Counter. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. These two teams all tied after 1.
Check 56. Don't get nervous.
Off play action. Rutherford. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2nd and 4. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 25-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw on 2nd down. Rutherford. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. John Brown now heading back onto the field as he gets set to go here. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
A run there on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Newton on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Back to throw, Newton. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
We play to win. Let's go.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
We own this. Mike 49. Mike. Spurs.
They'll run on first down. Connor. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept, have to be held, so that the runner can get to the corner and turn it upfield.
On first down, McClellan. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw on third down, Rutherford. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
I'm going back to you.
They'll run for it with Connor. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Second and 3. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rutherford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Rutherford, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
This is taken at the 18. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Freeman again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Newton. Gets it off to Freeman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Newton now to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
54, right there, 54.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's Connor. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch the slant. Double time. You got three down.
Right back to Connor here on first.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
On the ready. 56 is the mic. I got one. Check nine.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch twitch.
From the gun, Rutherford. And that is incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. And now it's second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run here with Conner pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Newton. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check. Watch 54. Wild Bill.
On first down, Newton. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, Newton. He finds his target, John Brown. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On 4th down, Newton. Looking right sideline, that's complete. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now Newton on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again is Newton. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. All that only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Steelers' 9-yard line.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense, and this home crowd, they're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 58 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on second down. Newton finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, here's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This is taken at the 15. Dances by him. And, oh, they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive.
Come on now, come on now.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
56 to Mike.
Looking to throw. Rutherford. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Operating from the gun. Rutherford. Hard throw. Incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Bills. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Newton on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. They'll run on first down. Connor. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it,